Welcome back to the Thrive 45 Method podcast with me, your host, nutritionist Stacey Nicole Smith. And this is the space where we talk all things weight loss and wellness for the woman in perimenopause and menopause. Now, let's get started with today's episode. Hey guys, what's up? All right, welcome back. Today we are talking about carbs, hormones, and fat loss. What nobody tells you about how they affect you in peri and menopause for weight loss. And I'm glad that you guys wanted to hear about this because carbs is one of the biggest ones, right? Like the minute we gain any amount of weight or we decide we want to go on a weight loss journey, what's one of the first things we do is we eliminate carbs. And there are a couple of reasons. Number one, because it's what we used to do when we were younger and we would get some short-term success from it. And also because carbs hold water. So the minute that we drastically reduce or eliminate carbs, we lose a little bit of water weight. And so it's a little bit of tricking our mind thinking that we're losing body fat, but it's just a quick water weight. And then the minute you reintroduce them, you gain it right back and then some, right? And before we go any further, I want to remind you guys, I put together a free fat loss over 45 guide for you. If you want it, just comment below guide, or you can send me a private DM with the word guide. Now, what I'm hoping today is that I hope that I can help you reframe how you see this, because this is one of the big things I see with women a lot. And also even with my one-on-one private clients, even if one of my private clients, let's say we've been working together for months and she comes upon, hits a plateau. I've had clients say, well, maybe I should just drop my carbs. And this is where actual coaching comes in, because that is going to hurt you long-term. And so that's where you say, no, but let's look at everything else and perhaps adjust this, this, and this, but we got to keep the carbs in there. And then of course, as always, they break through the plateau and they keep going without eliminating carbs. So they're really important. Now they do affect our hormonal balance. And as we're going into these hormonal changes, perimenopause, what happens is the way that our body processes them can change. And so if you are eating the same amount as you always ate, you haven't changed anything, but suddenly you start gaining weight, it's because the way your body is handling it has changed. So instead of cutting everything out, what we do is we go in and we change the way that your body handles them. So you keep them in there. Now, that being said, there are, of course, two different types of carbs. Basically, I'm trying to think of the simplest way to say it. Good carbs and bad carbs, but nothing's bad all the time. But white carbs and carbs with fiber. That's it. So white carbs are naked carbs. They have been stripped of their fiber. That means they're giving you a really quick blood sugar spike. We are more sensitive to blood sugar at this age, so we want to avoid that. Good carbs, carbs with fiber, they don't provide that quick blood sugar spike. So they help to actually balance blood sugar. So that's one of the reasons they're better. So all carbs should not be categorized together. And one of those, and I just want to throw this in there because I hear this all the time. Women, for some reason, think that fruit's going to make you fat. And fruit is a carb, right? And the reason I bring this up is because I just heard it recently and I had to talk to somebody about it, but there's a big difference. Fruit in and of itself, I've never met a human being who became obese by eating too much fruit. Never, not once, ever. And trust me, I have talked to more women than I know about weight loss. Not one, ever. And if you really think about it, you probably have not either. So fruit has been demonized because they're like, oh, it's sugar. Yeah, it also has a high water content and it also has fiber and it also has antioxidants, vitamins, minerals that our body needs. So that's a good carb. Now, how does this affect our hormones? Because one of the things we got to break out of is thinking that foods are just a calorie count or foods are just a carb count. No, foods have reactions within our body. So the way we want to look at it is, what type of reaction is this food having in my body? Is this food going to signal to my body to store fat? Or is this food going to signal to my body to burn off stored fat and use my food, burn it off as fuel, as energy, right? So what type of signal is that food giving to my body? When we think of going low carb, here's the thing. As we're going through these hormonal changes, we are experiencing more blood sugar fluctuations, we're more sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations, and we're more sensitive to stress with cortisol, the stress hormone. Now, when we go very low carb, when we go very low carb, that actually increases cortisol, the stress hormone. So, and of course, cortisol is that hormone famous for putting fat on the belly, the menopause belly, right? So we do not want to unnecessarily raise cortisol. Going super low carb can raise cortisol. So it's actually having the opposite effect of what you want. So how is this food signaling to my body, right? That's how we want to start looking at things. Now, the other thing a lot of people don't know is by also going very low carb, this can suppress your thyroid over time. You know, your thyroid is one of the master glands for regulating metabolism. So by going super low carb, over time, that can affect your thyroid in a negative way, which can slow down the rate at which your body's burning calories. So no bueno, that's not good. Now, one of the things I also want to mention, I think most of us know that everybody talks about protein, right? And you should eat protein so that you keep your muscle, prevent muscle breakdown, because as we get older, naturally, we start to have a little bit less muscle. So we do want to preserve that at all costs. Now, when we have carbs, that actually helps to spare muscle as well, because then our body's using those carbs as energy and helping to burn them off. And it's sparing our body going looking to break things down and burning off or breaking down our muscles for our muscle tissue for energy, right? And this one is a biggie. I really, 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 when you think about carbs, I want you to think about this. So instead of saying carbs, exchange the word carbs with fiber. And then it's not as intimidating. And I know this because when we talk about weight loss, a lot of people think about count your calories, count your macros, it's thermodynamics, burn off more than you take in. But here's the thing. We really need to think about how our body is using them. And what is one of the most important things when it comes to overall health and when it comes to healthy weight loss and weight maintenance and hormonal health is our gut health. Guess what feeds our healthy gut microbiome? Fiber. Guess what fiber is? A carb. So when you're thinking carbs, it's a scary word for a lot of women. And I know this because women tell me all the time. And when, especially women start working with me, a lot of it is saying, okay, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. But what a lot of people don't realize is we're also breaking down some beliefs and some old held beliefs that are no longer serving these women. And we're shifting that so that women are not afraid of carbs. Because if you really, you might think, oh, well, I'm not afraid of carbs. But if you really think about it and think about a time that you really got frustrated with your weight and what do you want to do? One of those first things that women want to do is cut carbs. I hear it all the time. So really give that some thought. And if you see yourself in that, a lot of belief shifting is necessary. A bit of mindset work is necessary as well. And one of the things that I think to find helpful is instead of saying, I have to have this many carbs today, or I should have this many carbs with each of my meals, because women are scared of that term because it's been hammered into our brains by the diet industry for years and years and years. And most of us now are in our 40s, 50s, and 60s. And when was your first diet? When you were a teenager? Probably. And so you've been having it hammered into your brain to fuel the burn, cut your calories, calorie deficit, get rid of carbs, do keto, do Atkins. That was what was in my day. And so it's ingrained in our mind. So there's a little bit of shift that has to happen here. So to make that a little bit easier for you, instead of saying carbs, just say fiber. And because a lot of women aren't getting enough of it anyway, and we need it. And to make it really, really simple for you, because I like simplicity, think 30 grams of fiber a day. If you're having 3 meals a day, that's 10 grams of fiber a day. So instead of being afraid of food and saying, I can't have this, instead say, I'm going to plan to have this and include this, and plan to have and include 10 grams of fiber roughly with each meal. Fiber is your carbs. So hope that helps. And that's going to, again, give you energy. It's going to help with your future healthy gut microbiome, which helps with hormonal health, which also helps with mental health, which also helps with sleep. And as we talked about last week, if you don't get proper sleep, that's going to affect your hunger hormones and send you into having cravings the next day. Like it's all tied together, right? So carb is a 4-letter word, but it's not the 4-letter word that everybody's making it out to be. So if it helps you at all, just change the word carbs to fiber. I need to have this many grams of fiber per day. Don't say carb, but you can, but a lot of women are scared of that word. So I hope that helps you. Again, this is not a calorie issue. This is not a carb issue. It's a hormone signaling issue. It's how does your body process certain foods? When you have that food, what type of signal is it giving your body? Because foods will either give a signal to your body to store fat, or other foods will give a signal to your body to burn fat. It's just knowing which ones to have and when, and how to pair them together. Good news is none of it involves restriction. I hope that helps you. And again, before I forget, if you want the free guide I put together for you, Fat Loss Over 45, just simply comment guide or send me a DM with the word guide, and I'm very happy to send that to you. Again, 30 grams of fiber a day. Fiber is a carb. Not all carbs are created equally. So you can lose weight and not be miserable and be eating plenty of wonderful food. Anyway, hope that helps you. Comments below. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Thanks for listening. I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, please be sure to like and subscribe to be notified when new episodes are released. Episodes like this are released weekly for all things weight loss and wellness for the woman in perimenopause and menopause. And for other ways I can help you, please be sure to visit the show notes or visit my bio. Thanks for listening. Bye.